Transformational leadership. Transformational leadership represents a leadership style concentrated on inspiring and motivating followers to accomplish exceptional outcomes and personal development. It entails a leader who not only establishes a lucid vision but also empowers and nurtures their team members to realize their full potential. Transformational leaders wield substantial influence over their followers by nurturing positive change, elevating motivation, and perpetually fostering innovation. Key characteristics and principles associated with transformational leadership. Vision and inspirational direction. Transformational leaders possess a compelling vision of the future that not only inspires but also motivates those around them. They adeptly convey this vision, sparking passion and enthusiasm within their teams. Cultivation of intellectual exploration. Transformational leaders foster creativity and ingenuity by challenging conventional modes of thinking. They stimulate intellectual exploration, encourage the art of problem solving, and create an atmosphere that values novel ideas and diverse perspectives. Individually tailored attention. Transformational leaders acknowledge the distinct strengths, needs, and aspirations of each team member. They offer personalized support, guidance, and mentoring that are aligned with individual talents and ambitions. Charismatic influence. Transformational leaders exude charisma, enabling them to establish emotional connections with others. Their influential presence inspires trust, garners respect, and fosters unwavering loyalty from their followers. Empowerment and confidence. Transformational leaders delegate authority and empower team members to make decisions and take ownership of their task. They cultivate a climate of trust and independence, motivate individuals to embrace risks and advance their personal growth. Elevated performance standards. Transformational leaders establish elevated performance benchmarks, challenging their team members to realize their utmost potential. They hold strong belief in their followers' capabilities, providing essential support and resources for their achievements. Exemplary role modeling. Transformational leaders lead through embodiments, embodying the values and behaviors they expect from their team. They exhibit integrity, fairness, and ethical behavior, amassing the respect and admiration of their followers. Ongoing learning emphasis. Transformational leaders accentuate both personal and professional development. They promote continuous learning, present opportunities for growth, and furnish their team members with support to actualize their aspirations. Emotional intelligence. Transformational leaders possess emotional intelligence, deeply comprehending their own emotions as well as those of others. They employ this understanding to construct robust relationships, resolve conflicts, and effectively motivate their teams. Architects of organizational evolution. Transformational leaders propel organizational transformation by aligning their vision with the organization's requisites. They kindle a shared sense of purpose, cultivate a sense of urgency, and guide their teams through periods of change. Transformational leadership has been correlated with favorable outcomes, encompassing heightened employee contentment, elevated performance, augmented commitment levels, and amplified organizational innovation. By concentrating on personal growth, inspiring a collective vision, and empowering their team members, transformational leaders can engineer a favorable and influential workplace, propelling both individual and organizational triumph. Servant leadership. Servant leadership constitutes a leadership philosophy and style underpinned by the leader's devotion to catering to the needs of others and the collective betterments of the organization or community. The foremost focus of a servant leader lies in nurturing and facilitating the growth and advancement of their followers. This approach stems from the belief that by serving others, leaders can kindle the inspiration and empowerment of their team members, propelling them toward their maximum potential and thereby culminating in shared prosperity for all members of the society. The characteristics and principles associated with servant leadership focus on service. Servant leaders possess an authentic commitment to serving others. They prioritize the needs and welfare of their team members and stakeholders above their own personal interests. Empathy and attentive listening. Servant leaders practice active listening and strive to comprehend the viewpoints, concerns, and aspirations of their followers. They exhibit empathy and endeavor to establish a supportive and all-inclusive atmosphere. Humbleness. Servant leaders exhibit humility and modesty. They do not seek personal acclaim or authority, but instead concentrate on uplifting and empowering their team members. Emotional intelligence. Servant leaders are equipped with emotional intelligence and are attuned to the emotions of others. They adeptly manage relationships, resolve conflicts, and cultivate a positive and comparative workplace ambience. Empowerment and growth. Servant leaders empower their followers by furnishing them with essential resources, backing, and the independence to excel. They endorse growth, learning, and individual development. Ethical conduct. Servant leaders operate with elevated ethical benchmarks and integrity. Their decisions are steered by fairness, candor, and transparency, and they hold themselves accountable for their actions. Collaboration and team synergy. Servant leaders advance collaboration and teamwork. They cultivate an environment where resilience, collaboration, and open communication flourish, thereby enabling efficient issue resolution and decision making. Vision and value system. Servant leaders possess a distinct vision and robust set of values that shape their conduct. They align these elements with the requisites and ambitions of their team members, instilling a sense of mission allegiance. Stewardship. Servant leaders view themselves as guardians of the organization or community they serve. They shoulder the responsibility for the welfare and triumph of their followers and strive for sustainable outcomes. Community enrichment. Servant leaders extend their service beyond their immediate team, actively contributing to the advancement of the larger community. They aspire to make a favorable impact and address societal and environmental concerns. In summation, servant leadership cultivates a nurturing and supportive leadership approach that encourages cooperation, trust, and individual advancement. It has the potential to generate heightened employee engagement, elevated contentment, and a more profound sense of purpose within the organization. By directing their focus towards others' needs and promoting collective welfare, servant leaders forge a constructive and enduring work milieu that propels the success of individuals and the organization at large. Charismatic leadership. Charismatic leadership is a leadership approach distinguished by a leader's capacity to motivate and inspire others through their personal magnetism, charm, and forward-looking vision. Charismatic leaders possess the crucial ability to captivate and sway their followers, often resulting in heightened levels of allegiance, dedication, and enthusiasm within the organization or group. Key attributes and fundamental tenets linked to charismatic leadership. Personal charisma. Charismatic leaders radiate a captivating and influential persona. The wild adepts. Communication skills, self-assuredness, and a persuasive presence that draws in and engages others. Envisioning the future. Charismatic leaders convey a lucid and captivating vision of what lies ahead. They spur others by illustrating and inspiring portrayal of the potential, effectively conveying this vision to their followers. Emotional appeal. Charismatic leaders tap into their followers' sentiments. They connect with their followers' aspirations, principles, and wishes, nurturing an emotional bond that kindles eagerness and commitment. Confidence and self-belief. Charismatic leaders exude self-assurance and conviction. Their unwavering faith in their vision and their capacity to surmount challenges fosters faith among their followers. Inspirational communication. Charismatic leaders excel as communicators. They employ potent rhetoric, storytelling, and persuasive strategies to express their vision and incite action. Their communication resonates with the emotions and yearnings of their followers. Role modeling. Charismatic leaders lead by exemplification. They epitomize their values, conduct, and attributes they anticipate from their followers. Their genuineness and constancy contributes to their power to inspire and sway others. Cultivating relationships. Charismatic leaders channel their efforts into forging robust connections with their followers. They display bona fide concern for their well-being, alternatively heed their worries, and offer encouragement and backing. Embracing risks and change. Charismatic leaders are often linked with daring and transformative deeds. They show willingness to take risks, challenge established norms, and steer change. Their ardor and assurance inspire others to embrace change and follow their lead. Trust and delegation. Charismatic leaders foster trust and empowerment among their members or organizations. They entrust authority, foster autonomy, and supply the essential support and resources for their followers to flourish. Charisma as a tool, not an end. Charismatic leaders comprehend that their charisma is a tool for achieving their vision, not an ultimate goal. They exploit their charismatic attributes to motivate and rouse others toward a shared objective. While charismatic leadership can be highly efficacious in kindling inspiration and vigor among followers, it is essential to acknowledge its potential drawbacks. Charismatic leaders may lean heavily on their personal charisma, making them susceptible to the risks of personality-centered leadership. Furthermore, there is a risk of excessive reliance on the leader, which could hinder the cultivation of a resilient and empowered organization. Overall, charismatic leadership can prove a potential leadership approach when coupled with other effective leadership methodologies. By melding their charismatic attributes with a distinct vision, adept communication, and an emphasis on forging relationships, charismatic leaders can rouse and rally their followers to attain remarkable outcomes. Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership, often referred to as authoritarian leadership, is a leadership approach distinguished by a centralized authority in decision-making and a high degree of control exercised by the leader over their subordinates. In autocratic leadership, the leader typically takes decisions without seeking input or collaboration from others, and expect strict adherence and compliance from their team members. Key attributes and fundamental principles linked to autocratic leadership. Centralized decision-making. Autocratic leaders maintain exclusive authority over decision-making processes. They typically make decisions based on their own judgment without soliciting input or feedback from their team members. Limited input. Autocratic leaders generally do not promote or value input or suggestions from their subordinates. They may believe in their own superior knowledge and expertise, resulting in diminished participation and involvement from team members. Direct supervision. Autocratic leaders closely oversee and supervise their subordinates to ensure conformity with their directives and expectations. They offer precise instructions and closely manage work procedures. Power and authority. Autocratic leaders wield considerably power within the organization or team. They possess a strong sense of authority and anticipate their decisions and directives to be followed without question. Swift decision-making. Autocratic leaders can make swift decisions owing to their centralized authority. They are not required to consult or seek consensus, enabling more efficient decision-making processes. Clear expectations. Autocratic leaders are recognized for imparting explicit and definite expectations to their subordinates. They communicate what tasks need to be accomplished, the manner in which they should be executed, and the timelines. Limited flexibility. Autocratic leadership may lack flexibility as choices and actions are predominantly influenced by the leader's preferences and concepts. This can curtail adaptability and originality within the team or organization. Deficiency in empowerment. Autocratic leaders typically limit the empowerment of their subordinates. They retain control and authority, leading to limited autonomy and growth prospects for team members. Swift enforcement of discipline. Autocratic leaders promptly enforce discipline and address any deviations from their expectations. They frequently have stringent rules and policies in place and may employ punitive measures to sustain control. Restricted collaboration. Autocratic leadership may discourage collaboration and transparent communication among team members. The emphasis primarily rests on obeying orders and attaining predetermined objectives. Autocratic leadership can prove effective in situations where prompt decision-making and robust control are necessary, such as during crises or within certain hierarchical and structured settings. However, it can also result in adverse outcomes, including diminished motivation, restricted innovation, and diminished engagement from team members. It is generally perceived as less effective in promoting employee empowerment, ingenuity, and enduring organizational development. Collaborative leadership. Collaborative leadership is a leadership approach that highlights cooperation, joint decision-making, and inclusive involvement. It entails actively engaging team members, stakeholders, and fellow leaders in collaborative processes to collectively address challenges, reach decisions, and attain mutual objectives. Collaborative leaders cultivate an atmosphere of trust, transparent communication, and mutual regard, recognizing the significance of diverse perspectives and contributions. Key features and guiding principles linked to collaborative leadership. Inclusive decision-making. Collaborative leaders proactively engage team members and stakeholders in decision-making. They promote participation, solicit input and feedback, and integrate various viewpoints to arrive at a well-informed choices. Relationship building and trust. Collaborative leaders prioritize cultivating robust relationships with team members and stakeholders. They create an environment of trust, respect, and open dialogue, thereby fostering collaboration and a sense of psychological security. Active listening. Collaborative leaders practice attentive listening, thoughtfully considering the perspectives, concerns, and ideas of others. They create avenues for discussion and encourage candid and open exchanges. Shared vision and objectives. Collaborative leaders collaborate with their team and stakeholders to develop a shared vision and mutual goals. They ensure alignment and encouragement, a sense of ownership, and commitment to collective objectives. Empowerment and delegation. Collaborative leaders empower their team members by granting autonomy, authority, and responsibility. They delegate decision-making authority, enabling individuals to take charge of their responsibilities and contribute to team achievements. Conflict resolution. Collaborative leaders acknowledge that conflict and differences of opinion may arise in collaborative settings. They facilitate transparent dialogue, endorse constructive conflict resolution, and cultivate a culture of compromise and consensus building. Networking and collaboration. Collaborative leaders actively seek opportunities for networking and collaboration with fellow leaders and organizations. They place value on partnerships, alliances, and joint endeavors to realize common objectives and address broader societal challenges. Ongoing learning and advancement. Collaborative leaders promote a culture of continual learning and growth. They encourage innovation, experimentation, and a willingness to learn from setbacks. They support professional development and create avenues for knowledge exchange. Transparent communication. Collaborative leaders practice clear and frequent communication. They share information transparently, keep team members and stakeholders informed, and nurture a culture of transparency and accountability. Celebration of achievements. Collaborative leaders acknowledge and celebrate the accomplishments and contributions of their team and stakeholders. They recognize the collective effort and express appreciation for collaborative achievements. Collaborative leadership encourages active involvement, inclusivity, and shared accountability. It holds the potential to enhance creativity, innovation, and problem-solving capabilities within teams and organizations. By fostering cooperation, trust, and open communication, collaborative leaders can cultivate a collaborative culture, empower individuals, and realize collective accomplishments.